Are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome everyone. We're gonna wait for some folks to get up in here. Let me just double check my Facebook and make sure it actually went live for me because last time I was having technical difficulties. So let me double check. Okay, there we go. We on there. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. We live. We live. We're gonna wait for. Can y'all see the viewers at all? Or no, y'all can't see it. Only I can see that for some reason.
No, I just see you in that at the moment.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. But welcome everyone to the show. It's another episode of Uncut and Uncorked with your guy Dwayne Anderson, um, aka Earthly Vine. So thank y'all for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. And we got the lovely couple today to join me. Man, this is gonna be amazing. I feel like this is gonna be really really good because we got an amazing couple on here, Vanessa and D'Andre, who are amazing, and so we're gonna get into that and what they all about and everything. But first, just want to welcome everybody to the show. Make sure you put into the chat what you drinking on. Comment what you drinking on, whether it's water, whether it's wine, liquor, whatever the case may be. You can drink on anything. Go ahead and put it in the chat so we can see what y'all drink if y'all can. But without further ado, I got to introduce the lovely guests of the hour right now. First of all, I just got to thank y'all for even coming onto the show. Really do appreciate y'all coming onto the show. But first of all, we got to, I got to give y'all a Steve Harvey introduction. I always say I got to give y'all a Steve Harvey introduction. And so, we always start, we gentlemen here. So ladies first, of course. So we got the amazing Vanessa on here. Thank you so much for joining the show. Vanessa does a lot, y'all. Vanessa got more jobs than goddamn I don't know who. So
Yes, me.
she
Yes, me.
she really does. And so I mean I could go down the list. I mean she has her. So first of all, she's a business owner. She has her own business, which is Statement Threads, which is one of them. Which is custom designs, I believe you do, if I'm not mistaken.
Vinyl printing, t-shirts or blankets or buckets, whatever you need,
Yeah,
something on vinyl. I do customs for that. So that's
just
statement
look at
thread.
that. Look at that. And then she got authentic educators. Did you want to talk about that a little bit as well?
Yeah, so that's almost a year old now. I'm creating diversity training. So for like HR purposes.
Yeah.
Um, so that started like as a teacher's blog. We started having conversations virtually. And we would just ask questions about like what does Black Lives Matter mean? What is white privilege? And they
Wow.
were open to the public. So we had anywhere from 10 people to 40 people sometimes, all different types of people joining the
Wow.
calls, and just had an open conversation about it. And so that turned into, hey, maybe we should offer training. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm working on right now. So that's where I'm at.
Wow. That's dope. That's
And,
dope. That's dope. Shout
and
out to you. You said what? I'm sorry.
I'm a teacher, 7th grade, language
Hey,
arts.
listen, I commend you for that because boy, that's not an easy job. So
It's so fun. It's the
yeah,
best job. And it's like the worst job and the best job in the
you
world.
know, yeah, that makes sense. That makes okay, cool. And then you also, I think you talked about it, but you do like some trainings focused on diversity and inclusion as well too. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not mistaken, now is that within Authentic Educators or no? That's
Yes,
something.
it is.
Okay,
I haven't. I'm still building it. Like I just finished draft one, so now I have to go back and edit it and make it look pretty and better than everybody else's, and add different stuff to it. So I'm on phase 2 of building my own training. Yeah.
okay,
So
that's dope.
hopefully
That's dope. That's
I
dope.
can
And then,
market that to other businesses and they can use it for training their staff. That's the goal.
that's amazing. Wow, that's
Right.
amazing. That's amazing. It's crazy because that's literally like a very well. I don't want to say lucrative because I know you don't do it because of money, but it's needed right now,
You
especially with
don't, but you do.
yeah,
I ain't doing
yeah,
nothing for free. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's very
I didn't realize, but the more people I started talking to, especially since George Floyd happened,
yeah,
people have been telling, especially my Black friends have told me that their employers have even pulled them to the side and asked them to host kind of roundtable conversations for the company, and I'm like, just as an employee, like they put that responsibility on you, and they're like, yeah.
yeah.
So I know that is necessary and that is needed, and I know there are other people out there getting paid for it. So uh,
Hey,
jump on over there.
Listen. That's dope. That's dope. That's amazing. And then you also are 1/3, I believe, of the Dignified Delinquent podcast,
Oh
which
yeah. I can't leave my dogs out. I am shout out to the Dignified Delinquents. If you like podcasts, please check
yeah,
us out. Even if you
yeah,
don't like podcasts, we got a couple segments. Love them or leave them. We got prank phone calls. So yeah, check us out.
yeah, yeah.
The
That's dope.
sophisticated ignorance, the Dignified Delinquents.
Sophisticated. And this is something me and Jerry talk about all the time. But everyone's a dignified delinquent, so check it
In
out.
their own way. In their own way.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone is. So, but no, we also, last but not least, we got my brother, my Kappa K side brother on here,
What's up? What's up?
D'Andre. What's going on with you, man?
What's good, man? Thanks for
Nothing
having me.
much at all. Nothing much. Now you do some stuff too. Now Vanessa ain't the only one, doing her thing. You doing
What
your
you
Yeah,
thing
do?
I'm not.
as
What
well.
I'm not
you
as.
do?
I'm not as live as Vanessa over here, but I do a little something. I make software. Um, so that's pretty much the bulk of it. I
Yeah,
started a business, and I produce these magnetic clips that
I saw that.
people with locks have.
Yeah.
So you tie them around your hair, and it just keeps your hair from out of your face. So I
Wow.
got like a couple in right now, and if I click them together, like when I bend over, my hair just stays from out of my face. So it's important when I'm eating, when I'm brushing my teeth. Like I don't have like a rubber band all the time, and I just feel like it's classier than having a rubber band. Sometimes they pop. Like these are tin metal. I can just keep them in and have them in as long as my hair is cool. So
I know that makes sense. Now, DeAndre, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little jealous of people with locks. 'Cause as you can see, this ain't something I ever, could have in my life. So I ain't gonna lie. I'm joking. I'm not jealous.
I
Uh,
didn't I didn't have locks originally. Like I went through a majority of my life with the low cut. I rode the
okay,
wave gang. I was a part of that until
okay,
maybe like late 20s, a couple years ago. Um, I started growing my hair out. So
okay. That's dope, man.
Here he
That's
is
dope.
now.
Hey, listen, flourishing. Them things flourishing. So shout out
hey,
to you for that.
appreciate it.
Uh, and for those who are watching on the playback in the description, I'm going to have all their social media handles, so you can definitely follow them on everything when you go look at that playback and catch the playback. So definitely make sure y'all follow them on everything because they are doing some great work. And black people just thriving right now. So definitely shout out to them for that. I got to ask y'all though, the show's called Uncut Uncorked, right? We get into conversations, but we also drink on the show as well. So I got to ask what y'all sipping on over there, if you don't mind me asking. So.
We have just nothing crazy. Stella Rosa, but it's
Okay.
red apple. I haven't tried that before, so I got it for the show tonight. It's pretty good so far.
Okay.
What you
Cool.
got?
Shout out to, hey, listen, I'm over here on some Da Vinci Chianti. I don't know if I can see it. My camera be acting weird sometimes. There we go. But it's yeah, I mean it's a really good wine, folks. If y'all want to try it out, it costs about $15, so it's not too expensive at all.
Get that
You can get
sponsorship.
it at. You said what?
Like, get that sponsorship.
Listen, I'm trying to get a little something over here. So, but no, it's really good, and it's dry. So I will say if you're not a dry wine person, this Chianti is not for you because it's really dry. It got like 14% alcohol, which I actually learned the amount of alcohol depends on how dry the wine is. So if you have a lot of alcohol, like 14 to 15, it's gonna be dry as hell most likely. But if you have like a good 12 to 11 or anything below that, it's gonna be a really sweet wine. So that's how I learned to like grab which wines I want to grab based off like
Okay,
the
appreciate it.
yeah. So yeah. But no, so we here today for a great conversation, people. So again, put in the comments what y'all drinking on. Let us know what y'all drinking on. But we're here for a great conversation because this season of Uncut and Uncorked, we're doing 8 episodes, like I said before, and it's focusing on Black love, right? And so, I have Vanessa and I have a mutual friend who connected us, and I was like, man, I got to get them on the show because I'm a big fan of Vanessa and what she does on the podcast. And I was just like, man, that would be dope for her to come on because I hear her on the podcast, which talks about her views on relationships and all that stuff. So it was pretty dope to get her on here and then to get DeAndre come to find out who's my fraternity brother and just an all around great guy. It's really dope. So We're
Appreciate
talking
it.
about, are you the one, right? Basically, are you the one? Do you believe in if somebody's the one? So put into the comments if y'all believe that, if y'all found the one, if y'all believe in the one, if y'all believe like somebody is the one in a sense, because we going to get into that to that conversation. But I gotta first start by asking, because we got into this a little bit off air. I wanted to ask y'all, like, how did y'all two even meet? First and foremost, let's start there. Let's start there.
Twitter DMs.
Twitter.
I was I don't know, I'm socially awkward. But I try to
Okay.
I try to send my message in a bottle, so to speak. Like, like just send it out, and if you respond, and you respond, and not be annoying, and be talking to myself in there and all type of weird stuff that I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I came around as a little weird because I'm a stranger.
He asked me, so it was the beginning of the school year last year, and he told me that he was taking his little brother school shopping and asked me if I wanted to come. I never met him, and that was like the first DM almost. So I was just a little like, no, because people always want something in return. So
Yeah.
I didn't want, but it worked out.
Yeah, because I knew she was a teacher from following her, so I knew she was back to school shopping, and I was going shopping for him. That was my intent. But communication, and
I might have
when
missed
you're not
out.
face to face,
Yeah.
kind of communication just kind of it don't translate.
I was like,
Okay.
no.
So let me ask you this, Deon. What was your thought process behind you taking her with the little brother to go shopping? What was that?
Well, it's a good chance for us to, meet each other without it being awkward. You got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of distractions, noise. We with somebody else, or my little brother. If she don't want to talk to me, she could talk to him. It's a bunch of variables to like get her out if she don't want to be there. And also, too, she was getting, I was gonna, try to help contribute because, I care about the kids first. So, that would have been a cool way to get back to, help her with some of her donations. So
Yeah.
At least he
Listen.
didn't say like Miss Parker, or can I have extra tutoring, or I get all kinds of crazy corny stuff. People trying to holler, and as it pertains to me being the teacher. So at least he offered to do a little something for me.
Okay. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. You a smooth. I'm over here taking notes. That's why I asked you that. Yeah. I'm over here
I
taking.
told
I'm trying to
him
get.
he need to write a book for real, because
Yeah.
he is a good one. He is
I
the
go.
one.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. Cool. But I wanted to ask y'all too, right? Because this episode is titled "Yeah, They're the One," right? And so I wanted to ask y'all: do y'all even believe in the one? Like, do you believe in the one? Like when you were going through your journey of dating people before each other, and soul searching and finding yourself and all that. Did you ever believe like I'm going to find the one in a sense, right?
I didn't believe that I was ever gonna find him, but I did know that everybody before him wasn't it. Like I just they all missed something. Like as they was cool, people's cool. No shade to anybody else, but there
Yeah.
was just components that I wasn't willing to go without. And so I kept looking, and well, I wasn't looking for him necessarily. He found me, but he just has all the components, kind of, of what I feel like I need. So
Wow, that's dope.
my answer is a little bit different. I kind of think the one is the person that you're with, like you end up being with, like because you like when you first meet people, you got to either have that spark or you don't. And I don't
Yeah.
know, like for me, my spark came like just finding out about her. But when you find out about different people, like you get interested. Everybody inspires you or whatever. Like, but through like constant communication with her and um, being around her more in our lifestyle, like everything kind of synced. And that's when I kind of knew, like, okay, um, I think I like this, especially where I am mentally and everything lined up. So I
That's
felt like
dope.
this a beautiful place to be. So I think I'm gonna chill.
Look at that. Look at that. Hey, listen,
Look,
fellas, y'all better take notes. Look at the way he just looked at his woman, okay? Y'all better take notes now, all right? I'm
I'm
sorry,
gonna say
Vanessa. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
helped a little bit because quarantine kind of pushed us together a little bit more. So
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
it became like you want to see me every day, or you don't want to see me for maybe 2 months, because we didn't know how long quarantine was gonna last. So
Wow.
like,
Okay.
see you every day.
So
So
let me ask you this, because I'm going off script just a little bit,
Mhm.
and so what do y'all feel like y'all learned about each other uh during quarantine? Because you said quarantine forced y'all to kind of be together almost every day. So that made some relationships, that may have broken some relationships.
Mhm.
And so what did quarantine help you all with when it comes to your relationship?
For me, I say priorities.
Mm,
What's really important. Because all that stuff started happening, and to me it was like, okay, I got to make sure that we good no matter what. Number one, and then number two, just making sure that she's safe, and that I was being safe about how we were living, and just different stuff, like making sure she was emotionally taken care of. To me, it included a lot of stuff because people were being closed in, and that's not how she worked. So she had to work from home, and stuff like that. So I had to make sure that she went outside, just like little things like that. And creative wise, she started inspiring me. So I program, I make software or whatever. But I've been working on this artificial intelligence for a minute, but I guess I got kind of stagnant. Like I wasn't moving as fast as I needed to, I think.
okay.
And she started her t-shirt business back up, and just watching her start everything back up, like how she was going about handling everything, like she was determined not to give up during the pandemic. That just inspired me. So I started pushing harder, and I opened the business, and then I started pushing harder on my software. So I think for me that was what I learned the most, like who she was as a person, and who I was gonna be. So I don't know. I hope I answered your question.
No, that's beautiful because and Vanessa, I'm definitely gonna let you because I'm very interested to hear your answer. But I say that because like a lot
I
of a
can't
lot of
stop
Don't be ugly.
a lot of a lot of black men in that situation, well, not a lot, but some black men would have, will let their pride get the best of them. They see that their woman is thriving right now, right? And she got her own businesses, she doing everything. So that motivated you. But for other men, that could be like their ego could get in the way of that because they like, okay, well, she's doing more than me, she's doing better than me. And so the fact that you like took that as motivation is dope because like that was a moment that could have could have caused some turmoil in your relationship, depending on the type of person you are as a man. But like for you used it as motivation and it
And it's
fueled you.
funny you say that.
You know,
It's funny you say the turmoil because we talked about lifestyles, about business. Like so, I'm in corporate, but
yeah.
I don't work like a normal corporate person. The template is set up like my hours are flexible, and because I'm a developer and
Okay.
I'm in software, so I can be off before she's off, and different stuff like that. And I was kind of almost working from home before she was, so little things like that. And then she moved from that to like business. So then she had no time. Like she already didn't have time, and then now she had no time. Like she was working at school and she was doing this, and she, they kind of switched up the layout. So I might not see her for probably like 4 or 5 hours a day
Mm,
one of those days. So I had to get used to that.
wow. That's beautiful. Wow. Wow. Well, Vanessa, I'm very interested to hear your answer to this question.
No,
So,
I'll say that was what he just talked about was definitely an adjustment, like going from not being busy at all because of quarantine and us having like so much time to spend together and doing pretty much everything together. We was in the first couple of months, everything is rosy and shit. And then I started my businesses and stuff and things did start happening like this. And I think for me, I started assuming almost like he was one of my employees. And I had to check myself. I think because
Okay.
he checked me a couple times, and I didn't like it, but eventually I had to say to myself, he got stuff to do too. He not here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was something. So I think for me, quarantine really forced me to learn how to live with him
Okay.
and learn how to like be myself, but also not realize that I'm sharing a space with another person and, you know, things like that. So
Yeah.
that was a big thing for me for quarantine. But I will say I got to talk about, because he just talked about how I motivate him. This man reads like no other, and you know, studies his craft. So definitely during quarantine, at the beginning, I used to sleep a lot and go to brunch and things like that. And he would,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to go. I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna get my work done and stuff like that. And he was never, he does his job, but he's always working on, you know, his craft and what he's trying to build. So for me now it's kind of hard. I still do take my naps and stuff, but I know he's in the next room working. I'm like, shit, I need to get up and work too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just rubs off.
That's dope. That's dope. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing that, you know, through a time of that, you know, mentally was challenging for some, was better for others, and for the fact that you all like motivated each other through that time, which is, man, which is the you know, the beauty in a relationship, in a partner, and like in a significant other, to have them there. So that's so beautiful that you all were able to do that, which is super dope.
It was tough. I think everything was, you know, great, because
Yeah.
the way we used to talk to each other was not that great.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that too. We're gonna get to that too. But I wanted to transition really quick to I think Vanessa, you talked about this. You talked about, like, you know, partners in the past that you knew weren't the one. And so I want to ask you both, like, how has past relationships, whether it was even friendships, you know, or, you know, intimate relationships, how has those relationships like prepared you for the one? Because you both believe that you're the one. So like, how has those past relationships like really prepared you for the relationship you're in today with each other?
For me, be yourself. Like, be as
Yeah.
honest as you possibly can. Because when you're not, like, when you hold back, like, you don't want to ruffle no feathers and things like that, it gets 10 times worse.
Mm.
And don't deprive yourself of things you want. You know, respect your partner and what boundaries you guys have set. But if there's things that you are interested in, or, you know, want to try those things, you know, no matter what it is, if it's a new restaurant or if it's something crazy, I think
Yeah.
everybody should remain themselves and not be swayed whenever they get with a new person, because I feel like that happened to me in the past. But I feel like with him, I can be my whole self, and it's very comfortable here. So.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah.
I think I've learned to be more patient. Um, like I'm a very critical person. Um, I don't know why that is, and I'm socially awkward, and it's hard for me to communicate. So she's taught me a lot as far as communicating, like what I want and what I need in a relationship, and just little things I didn't know I missed in a relationship that I couldn't put my finger on. You know, like little things that I didn't know I needed. Um, kind of popped up in this relationship. So it was kind of weird for me, but also too, the people before me, like, they taught me how not to be a bad partner. You know, like, you know, I made a few mistakes, you know, with some of the people I was with, you know, and I didn't like how that affected them. So I didn't want that going forward. So you gotta, you know, improve. So I try not to do anything I can't take back, or, you know, say anything I'll regret.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And you know what's crazy? You talked about being socially awkward, right? And like, you know, not being able to always like communicate, I guess, you know, in the most, I guess, like in the way you would like to, I guess, in a sense. So, what has made you feel comfortable with just communicating to Vanessa, like just so openly and freely with you, like, you know, with you saying like you being a little awkward, like in social settings or something like that when it comes, because I also do, I'm also very socially awkward myself, but I do have people that I feel comfortable with just talking to, and it just happens naturally. So, like, for you, like, what made you feel like, dang, like Vanessa is the one where I could just talk to her and just be myself, you know?
It came through us communicating. Honestly, it wasn't it was something we worked on. Like I was poor at it, and it was her patience really more than anything that kind of taught me. All right, maybe I need to reword how I'm talking. Maybe I need to, because I want to be with this person, and I'm not, the way I'm feeling isn't getting across, and I can't beat it. It's not a drama. You just keep beating. You gotta put a finesse on it. You gotta be lighter with your touch as far as what you say and the things that you're trying to convey. So
Yeah,
it's the way that she talks kind of started rubbing off on me, because I think Vanessa's always been kind of quick with the tongue and like snappier, and so I think that's why she does good on podcasts and things on camera, because she's good at talking. So that kind of helped me too, like kind of feel around how she talks and all that stuff. So
yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes perfect sense. And man, the way y'all answering these kind of flowing right into my right into my next question, which is dope. So shout out to y'all for doing this. But man, I wanted to ask, because when did you all realize? And Vanessa, I guess we can start with you on this one. When did you realize, like in your mind, like try to recall that moment when you was like, damn, like DeAndre is it, like this is
I
it,
know the moment.
huh?
I know the moment.
Okay, go
Um,
ahead. You got it. You got it.
Came to a music festival with me, which is not something that people in our community are very fond of. You got to go out and camp for days, and
Yeah.
you might not shower, honestly, So, but he came with me, and not only did he come, he didn't complain about anything. We got a tent. He got the tent that go on top of I mean, he went all out. I don't know. It's such a great time, and in that moment, I was like, okay, I can really be myself with him. He's
Yeah.
reliable. He's so protective. Like,
Mm,
it's almost annoying sometimes. So, just all of those things. He's a provider. He's fun. So I got to see all of that at one time whenever we went to this festival. And that's a place some people would be like, that's weird, or you do weird stuff and stuff like that. But
yeah.
he came and he was with it. So for me, that was my moment.
Okay. Okay. The music festival. Okay. What about you, DeAndre?
um, so my answer is a little more complicated. So when we first started talking, we stopped talking. All right, so we was talking for a minute, for a couple months. Then we didn't talk for what, for like 5 months or something like that. A couple months, 3 months,
Yeah, maybe 3 months.
three months.
Okay.
So we started talking again, and I don't know, like I was saying, stuff started clicking, and I wasn't. She's the one right then, but I was definitely excited about new possibility, and like just her presence and her spirit, everything about her. So that's what that festival was, like me just being excited. I didn't know until we started living together, and how we were living together kind of just like it showed me for real, like, okay, no, this is who I want to be with.
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope, man. That's dope.
Like, it was everything. I didn't really know. I don't really know. You don't know somebody till you live with them too. Like you might discover some stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. That makes sense. No, someone put in the comments. Someone said, "Protect your queen, Dre," which
Hey,
is dope. So shout
appreciate you.
out shout out to Ryan for putting that in there. So we appreciate you tuning in. Uh, but no, and so that's really amazing, right? And I asked that question first for a reason, because we understand, like, you know those are like the good parts, but I also want to get to, everything ain't always so. But it seems like y'all in a very like amazing place in your relationship, which I commend and I love to see. But I also want to talk about, like, also the good, But then also, what were some like, I guess learning moments, like I guess like some ups and downs y'all went through to kind of get to like where y'all at right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't always pretty. So like, what was some like defining moments in y'all relationship that was like kind of make or break right here, and y'all made it through that, and y'all here today, like talk about some stories.
Remember yours? I will say when I got really busy with the t-shirts.
Okay.
And our whole flow changed. I think that he initially was struggling with how busy I was.
Okay.
And everything with business now is on your cell phone. So I'm on my cell phone a lot. Like we're just chilling on the couch. I'm on my phone. We're in the bed. But I'm always working and I'm making designs and things like that. So he would be like, you on your phone, and so
Yeah.
it created some tension for sure. Because I think it really divided my time a lot more than either of us really knew how to do it. I stopped cooking as much, cleaning up as much, to be honest with you, because I was just so busy. I didn't want to stop working. So for me, I had to learn, like, I need to tell him that I'm working. I can't assume that he knows what I'm doing.
Right.
I also need to maybe set some parameters so that we're able to spend time together. Because this is important to me. Being rich is cool, but I believe in that whole, if you ain't got nobody to share it with type of thing. So
Yeah, that's real.
I want to nourish this. So my businesses are also important too, though. But that was my thing, was learning how to communicate and work through being busy and delegating time and things like that.
Okay. Okay. DeAndre, how about yourself?
Somewhat near similar. My communication about all that. So like how I was articulating most of that. So I wouldn't like come out and say it, but it would kind of come up, as we would talk about other stuff, whatever. Just like the ugly side of
Passive aggressive.
yeah. Like I wouldn't, so much come directly at her and talk about it, but I would make a little gesture at it, like, oh, or if he wasn't, blah blah, little nitpicky stuff. And it just got to a point where I understood, you know, I was being more a hindrance than supportive. But also too, it was more so the strain of her taking on such a huge load and not really knowing what to do and how to do it. And as far as me, I'm on my whole, in another area completely. So it's more like us trying to figure out that and us at the same time. So I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, but it was rough.
It was
rough a couple mornings, especially when we were in quarantine. So we couldn't really go, and I couldn't just like. Now, if we're upset, I'm gonna go to the bar real quick, and I'll come back, or maybe I go get something to eat. But you couldn't do that, so I had to go walk around the block. One time I was.
The whole backyard, just raked it, raked all the.
You said just raking in the backyard.
Raking.
But during quarantine, like I couldn't think of anything else to do. I did yoga.
Yeah.
Shit, Legos.
So you just back there going to work, huh? You just going to work. Hey, ain't nothing wrong. Cause I was gonna ask y'all too, like, how do y'all like when y'all come to those heated moments, like, how do y'all handle that? Are y'all the type of couple where y'all talk about things right then and now? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about it now. Let's get it over with. Or do y'all maybe take like 2-3 hours to go rake some leaves?
He
or
would
to go
talk about it immediately. I think he wants to talk about it right then and get it over with. Me, I feel like I need to sit on it real quick. I need to make sure that I'm not tripping. Make sure if he's tripping, what is he tripping about? And I probably overanalyze situations, but I feel like the alternative is me saying things that I regret. So yeah, that's usually how it goes. Is I'll be quiet for a couple hours. He continues to be nice and things like that, and then eventually we talk about it. So, but
she'll leave she'll leave. She'll go
Not
on the
leave,
walk.
leave.
She'll go on the walk. She'll go, to a nice, safe place or somewhere open, something she can feel nature, just to get into a new environment. Because, that tension is not, especially if you're not agreeing or whatever. But for me, probably working out, or going, doing work and cleaning up, to me, because I feel like, what's the saying? Cleanliness next to godliness.
Mm-hmm.
So start cleaning up, organizing your mind, getting right. Try not to come back into that same environment when we get back together. So
That makes sense. That makes sense. Wow, that's that. The fact that y'all are different about that, but the fact that y'all still like communicate that and it works for y'all is such an amazing thing. So definitely shout out to y'all for that, which is dope. Uh, to kind of build on that too, right? I wanted to ask you all, you know, again, we're all not perfect, and we're going to kind of lift this plane up a little bit once I ask this question. But I wanted to ask, like, what were some toxic traits y'all brought to y'all relationship, and that y'all had to work on within y'all relationship? So whether it was an insecurity or communication or whatever the case may be, like, what was something you felt like was toxic about yourself that you brought, and it showed up in your relationship, and y'all had to like work through that to get to where you're at today?
You go first.
I think I brought insecurities about how I handled past relationships,
Okay.
and I had to a couple times adjust myself to understand that this is a new person, and that I'm not repeating the same steps, that I'm doing something new, and that I need to think differently and make sure I'm doing what I need to do. Because for me, my toxic thing, I think, was like assuming she would do certain stuff, and assuming
Ah,
staying a certain way because of just the past people that who I was with,
yeah.
good or bad, just assuming just different things. And you gotta really listen and understand a person, like who they are. So that's kind of where the communication and all that had to happen.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So what about you?
I think I can be very passive aggressive sometimes.
Okay.
And I think I used to, like he said, just leave. Um, just leave. And in the past, it was like I felt like I was more of an asset to those people than they were to me. So I could just leave. And you're going to need me before I need you. But with him, he's not like anyone else that I've ever met. So I had to say, Vanessa, you could just leave if you want to and play with that, if you want to. So I don't want to play with it. So I try not to be so, I guess, extreme in my responses now. I used to
Okay.
be very, very extreme, I think. Not too extreme, but okay, you don't want me to be here, I'll go. Like, I'm getting on
Yeah.
your nerves. And yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay. No, that's super dope. And so, right, with that, and y'all talking about y'all toxic traits y'all brought, like with that, like there's things that y'all give to each other all the time, right? So Vanessa, let's start with you. What is the biggest thing you can say to this day? Uh, and I think we kind of, but what is the, like, whether it's the flaws, whether it's the happy moments, what is the biggest thing to this day that you learned about DeAndre, or I'm sorry, that you learned from DeAndre?
From him, um, there's still some good ones out there. That
Wow.
I don't, niggas ain't shit. That it doesn't apply to everybody. That there are
Yeah.
some intelligent hands, that can check all the boxes.
Yeah.
That they still exist. That's one. Two, you got to read something if you want to learn some stuff, because this man reads everything. If he doesn't know something, he goes to read it. He figures it out. He likes to do things by himself. Like, just hanging out with him for a week, your work ethic, I feel like, is going to increase 10% just because that's just how he is. And he doesn't complain about it. He finds joy in it. So before him, he kind of inspired me with my businesses too, because we were on our walk in quarantine. He started talking to me about teacher blog. He was like, what can you do with it? And things like that. But I don't know where I was going with that, but.
Man. What have I learned from Vanessa? I think the biggest thing I've learned from Vanessa
that's what I learned.
is how to be a little bit more freer.
Okay.
I'm an introvert. You know, I like to be at home and on my computer late nights. I don't sleep well. Like I basically could almost have like a mild case of narcolepsy because of how I sleep sometimes. Let my friends tell it. But she provided consistency and her patience. I don't know. I just learned so much from her. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I learned a lot.
Oh, listen, man. That's how you know you got a good woman, because you can't even think straight right now. You just like, oh, I don't know. I just learned a lot from her. So that's dope. That's dope, man. No, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope. Now shout out to y'all. I want to ask y'all one last question, right? Before we end the question portion. And this is something. And by the way, like a lot of these questions I asked, I feel like they're great questions, folks. They're just great questions to ask about this topic. But it's also like I'm still a student. You know what I'm saying? And so I love to learn from people and love to absorb knowledge from people. And so everything y'all say, like, it's going to the audience too, but it's also coming to me, and I'm like taking that energy in. So I just want to thank y'all for sharing that, because it really does mean a lot. But I wanted to ask, because this is something I struggle with in my past relationships, right? Has there been any like family members, friends, negative influences that has like tried to lead you astray from the one, in a sense, or like whether it was past relationships, your current relationship, like, and then how have y'all dealt with, with those influences, like trying to lead you away from the one or feeding you not so good advice or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
With him, no one has tried to lead me away from him. Everybody like get pregnant tomorrow. Yeah. I'm just kidding, but no one has tried to sway me from him. But in the past, people have tried to sway me against other people for sure. So
yeah,
family and friends, they be knowing. You try not to get them in your business too much, but sometimes you don't even have to. You could just talk about the person or bring them around one time, and automatically they know. And some of them didn't speak up, and I wish they would have, because it would have saved me a lot of trouble if I would have listened. Yeah. But
that's a fact.
With him, no. But it has happened for sure in the past.
Wow. Okay.
They tried to keep you from me?
My family has been mostly supportive. It'd be the friends you got to watch out. The friends be the ones they'll tell you some little slick stuff.
Be the one.
The family was my mom's always nice. For people who've met my mom, my aunt in college was like, I don't like you in relationships right now, because I was in school. She wanted me to focus on school. But other than that, my family was cool.
So did someone lead you away from me? You ain't answered the
question.
No. No, that's cool. I love your chemistry on camera. It's dope. It's amazing. But no, okay, cool. No, that's dope. And so, first and foremost, I just want to thank y'all for even answering these questions, because I know, for y'all to, and we kind of had this conversation off air, but for y'all to get up here and like open up about your relationship and showcase it to my viewers, y'all viewers, whatever the case may be. Like, thank y'all so much for doing that and blessing the folks. Because I do think y'all, hearing y'all story, and I was actually talking to Jerry, and I was talking to Vanessa a little bit. Y'all have a beautiful story, and I really appreciate y'all sharing it with me, and let alone my viewers on this show. So I just want to say thank y'all so much for doing that. and showcase. Definitely appreciate that. But I want to get into this game, right? That I play called Who Did It First, right? And so it's called Who Did It First. So while we're playing this game, folks, I want y'all to put into the chat section. I can see y'all comments. Shout out to we got my homie Justin in here. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate the love and support. We got Auntie Shell in here. Appreciate the love and support. Yeah, Auntie. You gotta have an auntie. We got Uncle in here too. Appreciate you, Uncle Marty for tuning in. We got my man Ryan. We got Alan. We got D in here. Camry in here. Shay Lynn. Brianna Cortez.
We live. Come on. What's up, y'all?
Yeah. So shout out to everybody for tuning in. But I would love for y'all to put y'all questions, any questions y'all have for Vanessa and D'Andre into the chat while we play this game. Put into the comments what y'all drinking on, but definitely put those questions in there if y'all have any questions. So, but we're gonna get into this game. It's called Who Did It First, right? And so I think I know the answer to this first one, but I'm basically gonna ask you a question, and without even consulting with each other, y'all gonna say who did it first, right? And so it could be who said I love you first, first. And so we're gonna play this game, okay? All right. So the first question was, who cried in front of each other first?
Probably me. I cry all the time.
A movie, probably.
Yeah.
A movie, okay. Got you.
Those are movies are good.
Okay, got you. I think I know the answer to this question too. But for the show, who approached who first?
I approached.
He did, but I said, "Here's my number. Get out my DM." So,
okay.
And then we stopped talking. So I broke it off. After we talked for a little bit, I broke it off, and then I wanted to talk to him again after a couple of months. So I had to reach back out and invite him to lunch, and then I invited him to a concert, and he.
Oh, hold on. My bad, y'all. I think we went out. We good. We coming back.
Y'all can still see us.
There you go.
You're
You good.
in the show.
Say on air.
You good. We can see y'all, Vanessa.
Yeah,
okay.
Cool. We was finna start pop locking or something. You gotta tell us. Warn us.
Okay. Cool. No, thank y'all for that. Okay. Who spends the most money?
Me. By far. I'll go out to eat. I'll go buy stuff online. We try to save. Well, I try to save a lot of money, and whenever I save it, I just give it to him, so that I can't even see it. That's
So you can't see it. Okay. No, but that's good. You recognize that though, and you give it to him. Which is dope. Okay. Who said I love you first?
Guess this one. We're gonna guess this one.
What'd you say, D'Andre? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said guess this one. You gonna guess this one?
Oh, me? You want me to guess it?
Yeah, you guess this one.
I'm gonna say D'Andre.
I did. It was a lit night. We was in not Hot Singer.
We was in the loft.
The loft.
Okay.
And she told me.
Boy, lie again. He told me. He pulled me in close. We was drinking, and he was like, "You know I love you, right?"
Oh, okay. Hey, listen. That's smooth though. I like that.
I said, "I do."
That's dope. That's dope. Okay. Okay. I guess we kind of know the answer to this one, but I was going to say who's the introvert and who's the extrovert, but I think we know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
I'll be.
He'll stay at home all day. Today I went to brunch. I didn't even know he was coming, but he just showed up, and I'm glad he did. But he wasn't home, and I was just gonna go by myself. So he's definitely the introvert.
Got you. Okay. Cool. Okay. Uh, okay. And I think we know the answer to this one. This is the last one. But who's most likely to end any debate or argument like first? Like who's the one that's willing to just go up to each other like, you know what? Like this, it ain't even worth all this. Let's just talk about this.
Go ahead.
Vanessa be the one. She be like, "No, you right," and then that ends everything because you know you messed up. Because even if you were right, it don't matter. It don't matter no more.
That's me telling you you're right.
Yeah, nah.
It's a win for me.
I mean,
both
it's definitely,
ways.
it's the end all, but it's like, oh yeah, nah, it's up. This thing over. Maybe
This
I need
thing
to
over.
check. Yeah, I got it. It's over.
The first one to be genuinely nice again is him, though.
It's him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That
I
makes
can't.
sense.
I'm gonna be mad until I'm not mad no more. But which is hard to do when somebody around you is like, "You still mad? What can I do to make it better?" And you trying so hard to like stay in your pissy mood, but you can't because this
Yeah.
smiling. And can I do
Yeah.
this for you?
That makes sense.
Before you too hungry?
That makes sense. Okay.
You always
Okay.
hungry.
You said what, DeAndre? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You always hungry.
She always.
Yeah,
Cool. But now we do got some questions. So I do want to read off some questions for y'all. So we got two questions right now from Shannon Burke. Shout out to Shannon Burke on YouTube watching us right now. Shannon said, "How do you support your partner in her darkest moments?" And I guess she wants to hear from both of y'all on this
Mm.
Do you want to go first? For me, and I'm almost scared of this. I feel like I haven't seen that dark of a moment from him.
one. Oh wow.
He
Okay.
does not, and I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing because whenever he does hit that moment, I don't know what it's gonna look like honestly. But he's so mild mannered and he's so calm and always tries to be rational whenever, even when is upset and he's talking through it and trying to explain. He's still like trying to give this other person or whoever the benefit of the doubt. So I don't
Yeah.
know, give him space, honestly. Give him space, let him do his thing. Back on the computer. That's the best I can do. But it doesn't happen, which is a blessing. But like I said, I don't
Wow.
know what's gonna.
Okay. DeAndre, what about you?
Unfortunately for me, I have experienced that just a little bit, and I can say my best advice to people is to just be there, kind of feel it out, but you have to be there to know that they need space. You got to be there to know that they don't need space. You got to be there. You got to just send that message out, send that beat off, that feeler to let them know that, you thinking about them and you care. Um, Recently, Vanessa's her line sister passed away, and
Oh, I'm so sorry
for
to hear.
me, yeah, death for me is awkward, because I don't know what to say, but I can, you feel that everybody knows what that feels like, and so I had to be there and be supportive and patient and understand that she's gonna just break down at any moment, little stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's my answer.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's amazing, man. So, DeAndre, let me ask you this question, DeAndre. Have you ever gotten to like a moment where like it was like a dark place for you, and like what has
Oh
that
yeah.
looked like for you? Oh yeah,
Um,
okay, you have. Okay,
yeah. It's not a place you obviously want to be, and
of course, yeah,
mine was it was complicated. It involved family,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
that tension, something that is important, in your life. So it felt important. It feels like you got to deal with it right then, and it just caused so much turmoil in me internally that it just came out everywhere, and I couldn't control
Wow,
it. And so that's what it was for me.
yeah.
Throughout my late 20s, I think, is when that kind of that occurred. But
How old are you?
31.
Hold on, how old are you?
I'm an old guy. 31. I'm an old guy.
Yeah, you don't look
I'm not
31, man.
for people that are watching.
You said what, Vanessa? I'm sorry.
I said I'm not in my 30s.
Okay.
He's old head.
Hey, listen, DeAndre, you look young, brother. You don't look 31. I mean, 31 is not old, first of all. Let's throw that out there. That's young. You still young, but you don't look 31 at all. I thought you was definitely a good 28. I ain't gonna lie when I first met you, so.
Oh no.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. But no, we have one more question. Uh, and so Ryan, shout out to my guy Ryan in the building. Appreciate you, Ryan. Uh,
What's
Someone he
good?
said when you told them that you may have met the one, right? So I guess this question is when you told your family you may have met the one. Uh, did y'all both have to set like boundaries with your families at all? When it comes to pertaining to like negative thoughts or comments like towards each other in a sense. And I think I kind of know the answer. We talked about that where y'all said y'all really didn't have too many issues with your family in that. So
Yeah, but I can see how like family mentioning, past relationships and stuff like that. That can be awkward and a little weird.
I think my family might do that a little bit.
Yeah, but
okay.
it would be more so in a different tone. And then my mom's sweet. She won't if she don't like you, you won't know it. She will
Mm.
not tell you.
My mama, you'll know it, and my mom loves him. So
She really
my dad just wants to know if he's employed. That's it.
That's when he bring home the money. That's all,
Yeah.
huh?
So no, we haven't had that issue, thank God.
Okay. Okay. No, and someone so okay, so we actually got two more questions.
Okay.
Shannon Burke, shout out to Shannon. Shannon always tuning in. I appreciate you, Shannon.
Okay.
Someone Shannon said, "Have you started a new hobby because of each other's influences?" And I think I may know the answer to that question.
Definitely me, yes. So like I said, we were walking one time during quarantine and he was telling me his ideas that he had, building apps and making his AI. And he was asking me like, what do you want to do? What are you thinking about? And I was like, well, I always thought about making a blog and I want to like tell all about what happens at school. And he was
Mm.
like, okay, boom, let's do it. So that started that. And then, I work with a business mentor and she was like, hey, I see what you're doing. I see you, what do you think if we do this? And then it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. And now here we are. I got a training program and I just need to polish it up and hopefully start selling it. So definitely another thing. I haven't kept up with it, I will be honest. But I started doing some yoga. He
Okay.
definitely influenced that. I would never probably have done it without him. I try to cook a little bit more since Thanksgiving. I've learned to cook greens,
Mm-hmm.
mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I make?
Chili.
Chili. Okay, very good.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
just a couple, you know what I'm saying? So, because I don't know. When somebody takes care of you, you want to take care of them. So, I'm trying to learn now. I'm trying to be domestic.
Okay. Okay. So hold on. So let me ask this. So you learn how to cook. So who's the cooker though? Like DeAndre, you the cooker, Vanessa the cooker. Like who's the cooker out of y'all two?
Um, I'm not. Yeah, we're not chefs over here. Like I got dishes that I can make. You know what I'm saying? And I venture out and try new
Okay.
recipes, and that's basically what it's all about. Like I'm gonna try something because you got to put food on the table. And um, our eating choices was kind of we had to figure that out because I be trying to go vegan, and she wasn't on that type of time, so that was kind of weird. But
It's a big adjustment.
yeah,
But I will say I go to work still and he still works from home. So most times um he's already cooking by the time I get home or dinner's already ready by the time I get home. So I'm blessed.
okay, yeah.
DeAndre, listen. I mean, if I had to find an ideal of a perfect brother, you it, bro. Like I like women. Goddamn, but
I'm telling
you.
you.
I just
Yeah,
be
I
chilling.
can see why Vanessa think you the one. So everything I'm hearing, I'm like, man, this dude is mellow. He cook. He bring home, he financially stable. Like you a good brother, man, for real. So
Appreciate it.
shout out to you, bro, for that, for
It
sure. So,
is.
uh, okay, no, we got some more. We actually got like four more questions. So,
Okay.
they said, Queen M. Shout out to Queen M in the building. She said, do
What's
you
up?
both feel like your love language plays a part in your communication? And then what would you rank your level of importance of you knowing your love language?
I don't think it's I don't think it's that important. I think it's important to know what you want and what you expect and to be able to communicate that. But the whole love language, chakras, and like, specifying and putting a name on those things, I don't know how necessary that is, but I do think it's necessary to know what you want, and to be able to communicate that effectively.
That's a good answer.
We struggle with that for sure, I think. But I think mine is probably maybe words of affirmation. Like I need to hear how you feel about me constantly, and he does a pretty
Okay.
good job at that. So yeah. Did you think you love languages?
Okay.
Do you know?
Mine, I don't really know the love languages, but if I had to just off the top just guess, maybe touch and
Is that one?
is that
Physical
touch one?
touch?
Physical touch
Yeah,
or
we
just
touch
being
this one.
yeah. Yeah, I'll fall asleep. Like right here, like just being we watching, I'll fall right to sleep. And I don't sleep that well. So that's like something that I need. I'll just pass out.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Now, love languages is I found them to be pretty helpful. I feel like they definitely like they help you, I guess, identify like what it is you want like in or I guess like from another person. So like I think my love language, my top one used to be physical touch, but now it's actually quality time. And so I think it just helps. I think like people use them to kind of help understand like what the other person like wants in a partner or wants from a partner or be
I
supported.
definitely feel that before.
Yeah,
And it's good knowing the different things, the different areas. But
yeah,
did we ever sit down and say, okay, my love language is this now?
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
You know, I know she want all that stuff. She want the touch, the time, all of it. So
Hey,
Right.
he could listen. He said he gonna cover all five. He don't need to know. So
Right.
I like that. I like that. I like that. No, we got another one from Boss Man, Jerry the Great. Uh,
Don't start no stuff, Jerry.
hey, Boss Man, big man
Big
said, "How
man.
would you know?" Now let me stop. Let me leave Jerry alone. He said, "How would you know you're ready to get married?"
Ooh. He like, ooh, I'm gonna get. How do you know?
Jerry always staring. Oh,
I know I'm ready to get married when I just can't go another like when all my ducks is in a row and I just can't go another moment without securing and making sure this thing is sealed. Like I just can't breathe without doing it. Like that's how I know I'm gonna be ready. But I don't, and maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't be agreeing with the 5 year. It take you 5 years to figure out you need to get married. I don't know. That's a long time. That'd be too long for me. Y'all dating for 5 years. If y'all dating for 5 years and y'all haven't moved in with each other, maybe. If y'all relate, long distance, maybe too. But if y'all living together 5 years, that's a long time. I don't know. So definitely before 5 years, like we stand the test of time. We definitely going, this the one. We're gonna do this right
All right, well, it's coming soon.
here.
Already 1 year in.
Mm-hmm.
no, that's dope. That's dope. How about you, Vanessa?
Um, Whenever I found somebody that checks all my boxes, which I have. So I feel like people put off getting married because they feel like it's going to stop their experiences and hinder them from doing things that they want to do and things like that. But we talk about, and I know everybody says they talk about everything. I know that's such a cliche thing, but we talk about so much. I feel like he knows the type of stuff that I want to do and that I don't know. So I'll be ready to get married right now. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm not in a rush or anything. I don't want him
yeah,
to go nowhere though.
yeah. Okay, listen. Sound like I smell a ringing in there. If you know, I'm not gonna put that pressure on you. I'm joking. I'm joking. I ain't gonna put that pressure on you, bro. Uh, but no, okay, no. Shout out to Jerry for asking that question. And then we got one more question from Shannon again. She said, "Do you all like explain how you all respect each other's belief systems? Like, so whether that's religion or views on whatever the case may be. Like, how do y'all respect or are open to each other's belief systems?"
Sometimes we have to agree to disagree. We have a lot of conversations about what happens in the media and in pop culture. Cardi B, and should kids listen to that? And
Yeah.
is Lori Harvey a hoe? Like all types of stuff. We talk about. We have those conversations, and sometimes we just okay. That's what you think. Okay. We might just have to leave some conversations alone, especially like during quarantine, and we were around each other every day, and so much stuff was happening.
Meg Thee Stallion and
Tory Lanez. Oh, that was a tough one.
Oh yeah, I remember that
we
one.
got about that.
Philosophically, I needed to know where she stood on everything. So
and that's
that
his
caused
thing.
a lot
He
of
always
turmoil.
asks like hypothetical and philosophical, and I'm like, no, this is real life. Answer this question.
Yeah.
And I think that was a learning moment for me, because I had to be like, okay, well, that's what he likes to do. He likes to live in the hypothetical realm, and
Yeah.
and he does do that a lot all the time. Flying cars, you name it, he thinks about it, talks about it. But yeah, we've had to agree to disagree a lot.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Okay. Agree to disagree. And listen, and ain't nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree, even when being in a relationship. So shout out to y'all for that. But I think that's all. If y'all got any more questions, put y'all questions in the chat. I think that's all of them that I see so far. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. We didn't have up to 30 viewers watching us at one point. So
appreciate it.
So yeah. So shout out to y'all for tuning in. To hearing what Vanessa and D'Andre has to say. But again, I'm a very, very, very thankful person, and so I always I thank you all so much for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful interview. Because you all are doing some great things. Like I said, I got introduced Vanessa through the podcast and was hearing everything that she's doing because I stay tuned into the Dignified Label podcast. But then hearing D'Andre now, like it's just so inspiring. And so, like I said, I'm always absorbing the energy, taking notes, doing what I got to do, to prepare myself for one and everything like that. So I really, really, really appreciate y'all for taking time out y'all busy time to really do this interview, to give y'all energy to the folks here. So I just want to thank y'all, and I just want to give y'all rose while y'all here, because that's what the show is all about.
Exactly. I didn't even I hadn't heard of your show, but I definitely will definitely tune in now. It's a good thing to watch and see. It's like a beautiful thing, especially if all your interviews go like this. I want to watch
appreciate
that.
It. Man, I appreciate it. Very, very young show, second episode. But listen, I wouldn't have it any other way, and I'm happy to have y'all here as my second guest. For future interviews in the future. I know D'Andre, you got stuff going on, Vanessa got stuff going on, so I definitely plan to do some different things on different topics. So, but I just want to thank all the viewers. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Uncut Uncorked. This is episode 2 of season 1 of Black Love. We celebrating Black Love, y'all. Like, Black Love is beautiful, as you can see. Look at these two. This is beautiful. So if y'all want to tune in next week, though, we doing it a little different, right? So this Black love journey, this journey to love, it's not always about it is about the happy couples, but there's also another side. There's also the side of trying to get to where that is. So our next episode is titled "Single and Ready to Mingle," and so we're talking about what it's like being single right now as a Black person, and specifically during a whole global pandemic. And so we're gonna have a lovely guest talking about that. You said what, Vanessa?
I said that gotta be tough.
Listen,
I'm so thankful.
We're gonna have a lovely guest on here talking about that next week. And so shout out to y'all for tuning in. But I always do this. I gotta do a virtual cheers to y'all right now.
We finished our bottle.
Listen, I finished mine too, but I was gonna fake it till I make it though.
Oh, okay.
But no, so I guess we'll put the glass up and do a virtual empty glass cheers. I'm gonna act like I got a little drop here, so I'm gonna take that.
That means it went well. Okay.
But nah,
You can,
thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, on the playback, I'm gonna have all their social media handles on there, so make sure y'all follow them, tune into what they're doing. This is another episode of Uncut Uncorked. Thank y'all so much. Again, my name is Dwayne, aka Earthly Vine. Follow me at Earthly Vine on Instagram, and tune into all updates as everything that's happening with the show. So with that being said, y'all have a lovely night. Enjoy Sunday night football. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.
Peace.
peace.